Hi, fifth grade. For today's poetry lesson, we're going to read the poem Puddle by Siobhan Anderson. I'm going to go ahead and click on that now so you're looking at the poem. After a summer thunderstorm, have you ever noticed your reflection in a puddle? Siobhan, an eighth grader, did. Her perception became an opportunity to consider herself, to wonder who she is from a new perspective. So please follow along with me as I read this poem aloud. Puddle. A drop of sky falls to the earth and nestles among the slopes of the asphalt. I trace my fingers through the clouds and along the ridge mark a bicycle made. Sun pours color into this one place, and my world is caught in the crystal between light and water. My toes send ripples that touch the reflection of a jet winding along. I wonder how many faces tilt toward the ground to watch a plane pass overhead. I stare at someone who is not yet me, a girl with clouds among her fingers, leaves near her lips, airplanes in her hair, gardens over her shoulders, and all she sees is blue. When you go back into today's poem, I would like for you to highlight words and phrases that you'd like to discuss. Obviously, we're not able to discuss the way we would in a classroom, but those comments that you're adding are a way for you to share what you want to say. So you would go up here and you would click the comment button. If you want to talk about specific lines, you would highlight those lines and then click the comment button, because that would allow you to draw my attention to the lines that you're referring to, just like we do when we're in the classroom. So today, when you go back into this poem, I would like for you to highlight the words and phrases that you'd like to discuss and insert a comment explaining your thinking. Feel free to draw attention to things you can relate to. Sensory language, so lines or words that allow you to see or hear or smell or taste or touch. Figurative language, words that mean something different than they actually say. So like it's not its literal meaning, it has a figurative meaning. We've talked about similes and metaphors and personification before, so any of those techniques that you might notice. And then things that you find confusing, so that I can get on there and I can comment and we can talk through those things that you don't quite understand. Before you jump in, though, I do want to give you kind of an overview because of what's actually happening in this poem, because it is a little bit confusing if you don't remember the fact that it rained and there was a puddle on the asphalt. And so she happened to look down into this puddle, and the first thing that she saw was a track made from a bike riding through that puddle. So there must be some sediment or some dirt at the bottom of that asphalt puddle. There must be some leaves also in the puddle itself. Okay, so first she sees what's in the puddle, but then she notices that she can also see her reflection. And then again, she notices that not only can she see what's in the puddle, she can see her reflection, but she can also see what is above her or behind her, because it's being reflected in the puddle. And so when you get down to the very bottom of the poem, where it says, I stare at someone who is not yet me, a girl with clouds among her fingertips. So if you picture her looking down at herself in the puddle and then putting up her hands, the sky would be behind her because she's looking down into the puddle. And so she would see her hands and she would see what's at the bottom of the puddle, but then she would also see the clouds that were in the sky that are behind her or actually above her as she's looking down. So that's why we see that line. And then leaves near her lips. So that would obviously be at the bottom of the puddle, but her reflection is also over top of that. So it looks like there are leaves where her lips are. And then airplanes in her hair. Again, the sky is overhead, and so if there's an airplane flying across the sky, then that's going to show up in the puddle also. And then gardens over her shoulders. So because of the angle that she's looking, there are maybe some trees or a garden wall or something that she's able to pick up on. I also want to draw attention to this double meaning down here in the last stanza, when it talks about, or the last two stanzas, I guess, and all she sees is blue. Well, when she looks at herself, she's seeing the sky, which is blue, but it also could be that she's feeling a little blue. Like it could be used, that color could be used to describe her mood also. So there is a double meaning there. I think that's really it as far as what I wanted to draw your attention to. So go ahead and comment, and remember that you are free to draw attention to the things you can relate to, sensory language, figurative language, or things that you find confusing. I look forward to seeing what you've got and seeing your thoughts. Make sure you do a good job of explaining your thinking. I hope you're well. I love you guys and miss you.